We live. Let's make sure I got everything turned down here. I don't want that double echo thing happening. This is down. Friends, welcome to day 14 of the 30-day guitar challenge. There we go. Yep, everything is turned off. We should be good for today. I'm very excited to see you. Day 14, a 30-day guitar challenge. If you've never been here with us before, friends, this is how it's gonna go. Takes 21 to 30 days to develop a habit, so I'm live with you for 30 days during April. We're doing this 30-day guitar challenge. I'm walking you through the Unstoppable Guitar System Standard, which is available to you for free today, second link below. You should have already downloaded the PDF, okay, which includes this, plus some other free resources, some other bits that are gonna help guide you through this whole bit, okay? We're gonna get good at guitar. We're gonna get good at expanding our minds and our consciousness and our love and our bodies and all that good stuff. It's a great time to establish some habits, right? So let's do that. Download the PDF, first link below, and then second link below is going to get you the Unstoppable Guitar System, either standard or classic or however you want to get in there. But UGS standard is free for you today. And what I'm doing is going live 2 hours every single day from 11 to 12. We do a beginner lesson. From 12 to 1, we do an advanced lesson. So this is all the beginner stuff that we're doing today, and we're on 14 now. And then the second hour, we're going to be doing an advanced lesson. Cool. And then I'm going to get to your questions in real time, whatever you guys want to talk about today. Let's do it. Okay, so, and if you haven't already, like this video. And dear Lord, if you're watching, you should be hitting subscribe if you want to see more of this stuff, right? Okay, you done all those things? Okay, so like, share with the kids. There's a share button right next to the like, and that'll help other folks know what we're doing, all right? Thank you, beautiful. Okay, here we go. Some folks, they say they want to donate during these, and they want to know where to do that. The bottom left-hand corner of your chat, you'll see a little smiley face, and next to that, you'll see a dollar symbol, US dollar symbol. You can click that, and then you can donate if you'd like. We'd appreciate it. Thank you so much. Okay, so here we go. So day 14, what we're going to talk about for the beginner lesson today is staccato versus legato technique, and then minimalistic blues for the advanced section. So let me give you a short description on both of these. Staccato versus legato technique. So we've been talking about, exercises. And a lot of times what happens with beginners is when they're playing these exercises, they sound like this. That's called staccato. So when we have a note and it has kind of a sharp attack, and then there's no fade out. It just goes away right away. That's called staccato. Think of it like a stiletto heel. It's pointy, right? Jab. As opposed to legato, think about legs, nice smooth legs, right? Sexy smooth legs. And then you want that to sound like this. Each one of the notes are connected. This is a mystery for folks at first. If you have this down, good for you. But a lot of times, I see this all the time with beginners. I've seen it thousands of times. And people say, how do I do this? How do I fix this? We're going to talk about that right here in just a minute. And then for the advanced section, we're going to talk about minimalistic blues, which is basically a term that I've come up with for understanding how to minimalistically phrase, but specifically we're using blues. But we could use anything. It doesn't matter, okay? So that's what we're going to talk about for the second hour. That's starting at noon. Then I'm going to get to your questions both at the first hour here and then the second hour, okay? Number one, thank you so much for all the kind donations I'm seeing coming in right now. MSG Knight, thank you so much. Little avocado dude is freaking out. He's laughing his little avocado ass off. Beautiful. Love it. Thank you, bud. Thank you, MSG. Always coming through, man. Al, thank you, bud. Love the mustache. Classic. I love it. Thank you, buddy. Super kind. And Steven has been donating so much lately here. Very much appreciate it, Steven. Thank you so much. At 58, starting guitar with Eric is a great way to go. He is very caring instructor. UGS Pro is the bomb. Nice, Steven. Thank you so much. Love that you're getting it, and I'm loving that that's helping. That means so much to me. When you guys let me know this, you know, even though you may see people doing it a lot, it really is fuel for my day. It's jet fuel for me to keep making more content. If I don't see people talking, then you know, it's a really weird little business to help people over the internet, because you don't really get to see their smiling faces and see the progress and what have you. So the only thing you get is a little message every now and then or what have you. And that, when I do get those, I'm like, oh yes, beautiful, I'm helping. Because we need some sort of feedback, right? This time is a perfect example. It's like we don't get a lot of feedback with each other, so it's a little bit, can be disheartening, you know? So there you go. All right, good. Let's get into this. And Stephen, I love that you're starting at 58. We got folks that are starting in the program in their 70s, 80s, and yes, 90s. I haven't seen anybody in their hundreds yet inside of UGS, but definitely in their 90s we have folks in there, and they're starting guitar in their 90s. What? Meanwhile, I'm getting the tweet from the 20-year-olds saying, is it too late? And the 18 and 17-year-olds, is it too late to start guitar? No, you can start and get really good in a year or two if you practice, literally, okay? I've seen it. I've had students that did it. I've had students that were with me for years. I've had students that were with me for almost a decade, and they just didn't get better because they didn't practice. And then there were those that got better because they practiced. So it literally comes down to that, okay? All right, let's talk about this staccato versus legato technique, right? We won't spend a lot of time with this. Most of you have this, and of course I have the video for you inside of the free course today, second link below. So we're gonna cover this fairly quickly, and then I'll get to your questions, okay? So here's the deal. When we are playing, a lot of times these exercises, what happens is people play it, and now watch, you can barely see my finger, but watch, it lifts off. So I'm pressing down, and then even though I'm not coming off of the string itself is coming off of the fret. And so what they do is they play, and then they release that pressure, probably because their little fingertips hurt at first, and because this is a weird motion here, and if their guitar's not set up correctly, then it's even harder. And so that makes sense to want to just kind of relieve that pressure right away. So they lift off, and then they don't have that nice legato sound of a note ringing out. So the proper way to do this is we want to pick the first note, and then keep pressing down, have the second note lining up, and the second it touches and makes contact, then we pick it. So we have that nice legato sound. For newbies, sounds like that. They release the pressure, they think about the next finger, and so on. This is really a philosophy that's very contiguous, is that the word? It's replete throughout all of music, in that the beat goes on. You ever heard that expression, and the beat goes on? Right? Or the show must go on. It's like whatever you're doing, you got to keep moving, because one of the things about music is we have time. Time is a variable when we're talking about music, because we have rhythm and we have tempo and those sorts of things, and those are all under the, you know, the idea of time. So in the same way, when we're playing, we need to be able to play a note as a staccato note if we want it, because that's short, and we need to be able to play them long if we want to. We need to have control of this. So one way that we do this is by practicing and being very cognizant, very focused on getting that legato sound. If you don't get that legato sound, then it's going to sound really unmoving and very unemotional. So there you go. I'm going to get to some questions, though. Refresh. Here we are. We're back. Refresh. 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 Okay, here we go. We're back, right? We back? Yeah, we're better. Okay, we're back. We're back. We're back. We're better. We're better. We're better. We're back. Okay. So weird. I just saw a donation come in here, 2 of them, but it's not showing up on my computer. Oh, here it is. Hold on. So strange, it's not showing up there. I just saw something come in. Corey is saying, I'm sorry, I'm looking at my iPad now. My dad died in Iraq. He started me on the guitar. Oh my goodness. Condolences, Corey. Thank you so much for letting us know that. I love that your dad had you play guitar. I did with my daughter as well, and you look about my daughter's age, and that would probably make sense-ish if your dad died in Iraq. Condolences to you. That's so cool that your dad gave you that gift, and you can honor him. And I imagine every time you play guitar, you're going to have that sense that he's with you. Man, I read the most beautiful article last night. I won't get off on a tangent here, but it was literally science talking about. It was really deep and it was very scientific, and it was. But anyhow, I was talking about the soul and how the soul keeps moving on. It's not like it dies when the physical being dies, but that's all we understand. So I'm sure that your dad is there with you, Corey, when you're playing, you know? So it's not just a thought, you know, there's a reason why this is, why many people believe this is because there's something that resonates with us about that. So James, thank you so much for the donation. Super kind, my friend. Really appreciate that. Okay, yeah, let's get into some questions here. Oh, I know what the issue is. My chat pooped out on me because I didn't refresh here on my computer. So let me refresh here. Sorry. Give me a second. Pat Barker, thank you, Eric. Grateful to Matt D for sharing your link with me. I've learned so much. Yay! Thank you, Pat, and thank you, Matt D, for sharing the link, because that means that more people can learn. That's exactly what we're trying to do here. That's why I always ask you guys to share and obviously to subscribe if you like what's going on here. 420 people watching. That's right. It's the magic number. Okay, let's get into some questions, shall we? You guys are seeing me though, right? Yes. Yeah, okay, good. Yeah, you guys are seeing me. All right, let's get into some questions, and I'm sorry I'm having to look at my iPad here. I can't, for whatever reason, it's not doing what it should be doing. I don't know why. Hang in there. I'm going to try this another way. Yeah, questions about theory, questions about the legato versus staccato, all that stuff. Oh, what is guitar modeling? That's a great question. There's amp modeling and there's guitar modeling, and essentially it's a fairly newer development over the last, 10 years or so. It's been going on for longer than that, but they've really developed it now. And so what these music files do is they take an amplifier and they have software that can take the fingerprint, if you will, the DNA of your amplifier or of your guitar. And then they'll say, okay, this is the waveform. There's these many highs and there's these many lows and these many mids, and the mids kind of sound like this and what have you. This is called timbre or timbre, and it's the sound of an instrument. So like if I play this, an A, or I play this, right? Or if I go to my acoustic guitar and I hit that, or if I play that same note on a violin, it has a certain sound. Just like you and I could be singing the same song in the same exact way, but just the way that our vocal cords are, and our jaw and our head and everything else that makes that resonance a certain timbre, then it's going to have a certain sound. Hey, what up, Tux? Oh, little buddy, hi. Say hey to everybody. Oh, you're so sweet. That's a good guy. Come around here. Come around here. I'll pet you. Come on. I ain't scared. Get over here. So, that's the timbre of an instrument. And that's what makes it sound like that. So if you hear a drum, or you hear a violin, or you hear a guitar, or a banjo, you immediately know the sound of it because of its timbre, not because of the notes it's playing, because they could all be playing the same notes. Does that make sense? And I forgot why it is that I told you that. Oh, because we're talking about modeling. And so when they model an amp or they model a guitar, what they're able to do is they're able to get the timbre of that instrument in an electronic form so that when you send the timbre of your instrument through that model, it shapes it, okay? Much like the morphing does when you see me do these filters on Instagram, or if you do filters on Instagram, or any sort of face morphing or whatever. It's taking an idea and it's taking the original and it's getting it closer to that idea, right? Or have you seen these deep fake videos on YouTube? They're called deep fake. They're so interesting, and basically they'll take someone's face and put it on somebody else's face. So literally now in the world, you could have anybody speaking on video and it could be a different person speaking. They can get the voice, they can get the face. It's kind of weird, it's kind of like straight up creepy, but it's true. They can do it, okay? All right, we're gonna, I don't know why, my computer's not working. So, okay, so I'm gonna have to come over here and get questions here. All right, let's get to those questions here. Okay, so you do understand. Okay, beautiful, Jane, thank you. You rock, Eric. I'm a retired vet as well who graduated from guitar for vets. And now, with your blessing, I get to take it to another level. Yes, my mind is being blown daily. Yeah, love that, Michael. I've reached out to guitar for vets and have tried to make all my stuff available to them, but there was some politics there. And for whatever reason, they didn't want to... They didn't want to take advantage of the lessons, so whatever. But I'm here for you. So for vets, by the way, we supply Unstoppable Guitar System for free for vets at YourGuitarSage.com/veterans. YourGuitarSage.com/veterans. If you're a U.S. vet or U.S. military, we provide that for free for you as a service for your service to us. Okay, it's one way we can say thank you. All right, beautiful. Scotland's in the house. Okay, I have unplugged my Strat on the lap, noddling while watching you. What do you do to keep it from slipping? You put your leg under it. Dennis, you put your leg under it. That's what you do to keep it from slipping. I'm not sure what you mean. I would have to be in the room with you, but that's what you do. You just put your leg under it. Bring it, tuck it in a little bit more. Put your arm over it. Grab it with one hand or two hands. This is what I said in the beginning as a guitar player. The simplest things like walking around with your pick, walking around with it in your hand, or putting the guitar in your lap and sitting there and watching, if you're binging or something like that, you're watching TV, just have it in your hands, have it on your lap, because you'll get accustomed to it and it'll be falling, you'll be like, whoa. And if you do that enough times, you're gonna develop a habit of being able to keep it on your lap, okay? It's just like brushing your teeth. No 3-year-old brushes their teeth well. They're like this. It's all over the place, right? And the only reason that you can do it better than that 3-year-old is because you've practiced. It's just like guitar. It's just like holding the guitar. It's just like holding the pick. Whatever you do a lot of, you're gonna be good at. So do a lot of whatever it is you wanna be good at. That's it. Simple. It's that simple. Eric, do you have a harder time playing guitar standing up with a strap? Yes, a little bit, because I honestly am so used to playing sitting down. And that's most of us, right? Because if we're playing for hours, a couple nights ago I was playing for 3.5 hours. And, oh good, I got my chat back. And so because of that, whatever you do a lot, you're gonna be good at. Whatever you don't do a lot, you're not gonna be good at. It's real simple. And so, yeah, if I stand up, I'm not going to be as accurate. It's not going to be as comfortable sitting down. But if I stood up all the time, then I would get good at that. Very simple, okay? Okay. Got the adjacent string and L7 pattern, but could you go over the bolt zigzag magic pattern? Okay, here's the deal. Street Bright Gear, which we've been chatting a lot online. If you have the L7 pattern is the bolt pattern, except with the L7 pattern, we're looking at all the chords, not just the 1, 4, 5. So, you know, whereas the bolt pattern, also we're doing that from the 5th string instead of the 6th string. So the bolt pattern is, if this is a D, which it is, then, you know, 4, 5, or 1, 4, 5, or 1, 4, 5, right? That's the bolt pattern. So the L7 pattern is just starting from the 6th string, and it just means, oh, hold on, you've got the L7 pattern. The L7 pattern starts from the 6th string. The bolt pattern starts from the 5th string, and it just means we have 1, 4, 5, or 1, 4, 5. With the bolt pattern, we, you know, say we took a C here, we said 1, 4, 5, and we had 2, 3, 6. So the only thing we were doing differently with the bolt pattern is we were putting it on the 5th string, and that allows us to go to find the 4, 5 on the 6th string and the 4, 5 on the 4th string. That's what we were doing there. Does that make sense? Yes. Thanks for giving to us vets. Here's something back. Thank you, John. So kind, buddy. I really appreciate the donations. Do you recommend a beginner use an alternate C, just moving fingers 1 and 2 down each string, maybe C add 9, when you see a lot of C and G chord progressions in a song? You can do that, Joseph. Yeah, if the C chord sounds, if it feels unnatural to you at first, or you're having a problem with it, then look, we want to make this fun. We want to make guitar fun. It should be fun, because there's plenty of challenging things about guitar. That's why it's called the 30-Day Guitar Challenge, is because it's going to challenge you. It's going to call you up. It's going to make you work. If you don't want to work, don't do it. But you're not going to be happy that way. You're happy when you grow. So, but at the same time, we want it to be fun. So it's fine if you want to do that at first, but Joseph, later on, I would say learn the right way to play it. Diversity is good, right? I see what you're saying. Yeah, going from the C to the G, right. It makes more sense to go from the C add 9 to the G, because you don't have to move these 2 fingers. It's a lot easier, right? And that's what we call economy of movement. And when I'm talking about the inventory breakdown method, what up, B-Man? When we're talking about the inventory breakdown method, it's the more inventory, the more pieces, more assets, things that we have to keep up with here, the harder it is. So if these 2 fingers can stay there when we switch from a C add 9 to a G, well then that's 2 assets that we don't have to worry about. Now we just have to worry about these 2. As opposed to switching like this, now we're having to worry about all 4 fingers. Make sense? D Buster is saying, can you discuss the best way to bridge for the F chord? So I think you mean bar. And D Buster, I won't go into it because I've been talking about the bar chords a lot here lately and discussing those with you. So I don't want to wear everybody out on that, okay? But I have 2 videos that you need to watch, probably 3, 4 actually. One is called the effing F chord, and you're probably going to find another kind of version of that where I break down the chord into 2, 3, 4, and 5 note chords, as opposed to just jumping to the 6 string chord right away. Remember, just like juggling, if you're juggling 2 balls and you're having a hard time, adding a third's not going to make it easier. It's going to make it harder. So you need to have that same mentality when playing guitar. But for whatever reason, we just go for the 6 string chord right away and assume that we're going to get it. And then we get all mad that we're not getting it. And we get mad at the guitar teacher on YouTube because we're not getting it. And he said we were going to get it. Well, that's equivalent to trying to eat a sandwich in 1 bite, or trying to juggle with 3 balls when you're having a hard time with 2. So follow the effing F chord video that I give you, and there's another one that should pop up too, where I think I break it down even more, and I forgot the title of that. But then I have a 2-part series on bar chords. Search YourGuitarSage bar, and you'll get what I'm talking about, okay? Thank you for the all caps with a question mark. That helps me. MSG is saying, I don't have a problem with pull-offs as much as I am doing pull-offs on accident more often. Yeah, that happens. Any suggestion to keep from having these notes ring out when I'm switching over? Yeah, MSG, slow down. Number 1, slow down and just be more focused, more conscious about your playing. You are the only one that controls your fingers. You're the only one who controls your life and steers your ship. You've got to tell yourself that all the time, especially in these times right now. everything you're doing on guitar, everything. You control your life. Someone doesn't control you unless you allow them to. So you control your fingers. That being said, that's the start, is to understand the philosophy behind that. Then you need to hyper-focus and slow things down. When you hyper-focus and slow things down, what that does is it gives you the wherewithal to be able to go, oh, I see what I'm doing there. And then once you can notice it, it's just like meditation. You see a thought come in. It's not that you're controlling the thought. You just notice the thought. And then the thought doesn't come into your mind as often. Same thing with this. If you notice what you're doing wrong, and then you're like, oh, I notice it. Just the noticing alone is going to help you to overcome it. Make sense? Dr. Paul saying, do acoustic guitars need a different type of amp when plugged in? Typically an acoustic amp, but that's if you need an acoustic amp. A lot of people go out and they buy an acoustic amp, and there's no reason to amplify the amp. Amplify the guitar. They're just playing alone in their house. So I would say don't get one. There's not really a need to, unless you're playing out. Legato's used all the time. It's used so many times, in like everything. So is Legato used most? Yeah, it is. I refresh 3 times and still get fuzzy video. Anyone else? No. Gary, adjust the little gear setting. Look at the little gear setting and adjust your, or actually not the gear setting, but the three little dots in the right-hand corner. If you click on that, you can adjust the resolution. Michael Ward, thank you. Thanks so much, buddy. Thank you for the avocado working out. Thank you. I'm assuming that's an avocado. Just assuming. Okay. Oh, you're so welcome, MSG. Yeah. Can I cast your lessons to Chromecast somehow? Yeah, I'm pretty sure, but I don't know anything about that. So you have to call Chromecast people. I don't know anything about that. Michael, it's just your audio. Everybody else is fine. You would see it in the chat if it were everybody else. It's just your audio and the other gentleman that was there. So you got to adjust something there. Oh, good. Worked. Okay, beautiful. Corey's asking about the Vox Super Beetle amp. I don't know anything about it, but I'm assuming that it's probably like a consumer brand of kind of what the Beatles used, hence the name, because that was the amps that they used early on. Learning how to play guitar is on my retirement bucket list. I have 0 music experience, and I'm starting to look at guitars. Is electric or acoustic easier to learn? Marty, okay, it's a great question. They're both the same guitar in that if you drove a sedan or a sports car, they're both cars with wheels and a steering wheel and ignitions and stuff like that. But they drive differently. So the electric guitar is a little bit easier to press down, but now you're having to fiddle with amps and pedals and things like that, right? Unless you just are playing a straight up electric guitar and keeping it really quiet. Electrics are typically easier to fret. Acoustics, you don't have to bother with a bunch of other stuff, so you can bring it with you anywhere, go outside, go to the park, etc., and you don't have to worry about all those other things. So that's why the acoustic is pretty cool. But typically the strings are thicker and a little bit harder to press down. Typically, it just depends on your guitar. So, make sense? So it depends, but you could start with anything. I started on acoustic. Anybody saying you can't start on that is ridiculous, because I did, and there's tons of people did, you know? I've been looking for good, inexpensive acoustic amps. Any idea? Tim, usually acoustic amps are not inexpensive because they're full range, and in order to do that, full range meaning they've got the mids, the lows, and the highs, and so that is a little bit more expensive to replicate than it is to just a straight up speaker. I might have one in my store. the links below, but I don't think I do. So I'm sorry, but you're on your own on that one. I don't like using acoustic amps. I don't have a need for one. I don't think that you probably do either, Tim. I know people want to plug into something. They want it to be loud. And you can do that if you want. But I'm telling you, it's expensive and there's no need to. The acoustic guitar is plenty of, that's why it's acoustic, it's loud. So unless you're playing with a band or something, there's not really a need to. Can you use a looper with an acoustic? Yeah, you sure can. Does my left hand position have to be different when I'm playing metal? Because I see a lot of people playing with their full finger, not just the fingertips. Don't worry about what other people are doing. Your hand position is not going to be any different. No. I play metal, I play country, I play all sorts. It's not any different. No. Is a modeling guitar combo amp good for electric? It is, yeah. It's super, super fun. You can do lots of different things with it. That's why I have the setup that I have. It's a modeler, and it makes things super fun because I can, you know, if I'm playing like this and I just kind of want a little bit of a funky sound, I can do that. If I want to rock it out, I can do that. You know, if I want to add some reverb, if I want to add some tremolo, I got that. If I want to add some delay. Hi, buddy. So, and all that is done very easily. And now you don't have to do that with just a modeler, but I guess what I'm saying to you is I'm actually modeling a Fender Bassman right now, or maybe might even be a Dumble, which is like a $30,000 amp. Well, I'm not going to buy a $30,000 amp. Even if I had the money to burn, I wouldn't do it because you can model these amps and sound so dang close to it, it's not even funny. And I've heard all the people knock modelers, and it's a bunch of crap because I've owned those amps. I still own those amps, and I never turn them on anymore. I keep selling them because this thing does what all those amps did. So whatever. I'm just telling you from some guy who's been that before. It's like I'm vegan too, and people say, you don't know what you're missing eating animals. I've eaten more animals than you, okay? So I know what I'm missing. I just think it's comical when people say, well, you don't know what you're... I did that. That was a thing I did, you know? Oh, buddy. Oh, I'm not going to eat you. I love you. No, he's my good boy. Look at this guy. Mr. Lover. So, you know, as far as these modelers, they're fantastic, and there's a reason why studio players use them, okay? Have you played Rocksmith or Xbox? Is it worth it as a resource to learning guitar? You know, anything helps if you are, my goodness, lover boy. Anything, everything helps, you know, using, using your capo like this to strengthen, or tapping your fingers, or playing guitar, or using a shred neck, or using, like, everything helps. So, but to actually learn guitar, no, you're not going to learn guitar from there. You're just going to be able to play and move your fingers and stuff. But learn guitar, you know, you're not going to learn guitar that way. You need to have lessons in some way. You know what I mean? You could learn some things. It's not in a vacuum, is what I'm saying. You're not in a vacuum there, so you're not gonna. But you'd be better off learning from some sort of teacher or some sort of methodology. For the same reason that if you said, what's better for gaming, Rocksmith or your courses, I'm going to say Rocksmith. Rocksmith's a game. Like, that's what they've dedicated themselves to doing, not creating a massive course that 500,000 people have gone through and have actually learned how to play guitar and spent decades of their lives doing. Rocksmith didn't do that. They pooped out a video game that's fun to play and you can do it on the guitar. Yay, whoop-de-de-doo. You know what I mean? Sorry, I'm not knocking. I'm just being, you know, clear. That's all. Hi, Eric. I have a 15-watt Interstate modeling guitar amp. Do I need something higher wattage or tube? Depends, Gary. I mean, is it working for you? If you're playing with a band, then you probably need something bigger. But You know, people ask those questions. They say, do I need something? Do you? I don't know. Ask yourself that. Do you? Is it working fine for you? So you'll need it if you're playing with a band, right? And you need to be as loud as the drummer or something. Yeah. And it's probably 15-watt solid state, which is really quiet. Super, super quiet. Hey Eric, for intermediate to advanced players, which of the memberships in your site can you recommend? I've tried the standard yesterday, but I'm looking for more. I want to get out of this rut. John. Okay, number one, John, thank you for asking that. Number two, make sure that you go through all of those lessons first, okay? Whether you're going to get into UGS Pro, which is where I would suggest you go. If you want to get more out of your playing, yes, UGS Pro is the only way to go, okay? But even if you do that, I'm telling you, please, please, I implore you to not skip one video inside of UGS Standard, which I'm giving everybody for free today, okay? Those are also the first 30-something videos inside of UGS Pro. There's a reason for that. It's because they're dynamic, they're amazing, and they're going to help you play and develop a great foundation, okay? But don't skip those, okay? But UGS Pro is what you want. You can find that at the second link below. I still have trouble with strumming patterns and consistency. Do you have a practice routine that will keep your skill up? B-Man. Yes, B-Man. Second link below, okay, below the PDF, second link below, click on that UGS Standard, Unstoppable Guitar System Standard. Inside that course that I'm giving to you today for free, there are PDFs that are in videos that are appropriate. One of them is the strumming video, and in that strumming video, I have 5 levels of strumming. Works you from the very beginning to where you understand conceptually what's going on with downbeats and down strums and upbeats and up strums. And then I walk you through each level, 1 through 5, with 5 being the more challenging one, the most challenging one, okay? Go through that. That is your practice workout. Anything else is gonna be it's gonna take you a lot longer to get there. This is direct. It's the closest, it's like pointing you straight to what it is you're looking for. There's the X. The treasure's under that. Get it. Okay? Good stuff. Okay. Okay, I don't know how to answer that one, but it's just a funny statement. My knob is loose because I'm missing a piece. Uh-oh. Not letting me screw it in. Do you know what that is called? I don't know what knob you're talking about, but if you're talking about one of these knobs, then basically when you pull it off, you're going to see a little thing that you can spread out. You can open it up, and it's what allows this to fasten onto the pot. It's called a pot or a potentiometer, okay? So weird, man. YouTube is freaking out, man. Why ain't you working right, bro? Not working right. Uncool. Uncool. Come on with this. I apologize. Friends, if you have not already, please like this video and share this so that other folks know what we're doing here and they can keep their mind on positive, good things, improving themselves, improving their skills, just all the rest, okay? For whatever reason, I'm having difficulty with the chat on my laptop for some reason. I don't know why. Hi, Eric. I see your Gretsch in the background of the UGS videos. Did you bring it home from the studio? If so, can you play it in some of your instruction examples? Steven, I did not bring it home. It didn't make the cut. Although it's one of my favorite guitars, it didn't make the cut. I just got the Strat and the SG, to be honest with you. That's all, and an acoustic. So that's all that came home with me. Now, here's the deal. If you want that, though, search YourGuitarSage Stray Cat. And I have videos playing Stray Cat stuff that you're going to love. I hate that I have to read this stuff on here, but it's okay. What do you think of the new Blues Junior? I can pick up a used one from Private Party for $350. I don't know anything about the new Blues Juniors, but you know me. I love Blues Juniors. I think they're a great amp because they're tube, they're loud, they're nice and clean. In fact, this sound right here sounds almost identical to my Blues Junior. If I were to just plug in and go, it has just a little bit of break up there. If I want to play clean, I can do that, or I can dig in and we get that overdrive sound. Okay? Good stuff. John's saying, what? You're live in Nashville and don't own a telly? Here's a secret, John. Number one, I love tellies, but I'm not a telly guy. I know, and I live in Nashville. I'm kind of the black sheep, if you will. I'm a rocker. I've always loved rock. Country's good. My wife writes country, and I love a good country song, but mainly old school country. In fact, I pulled up 70s country the other day on Spotify because I love that sound. That sound to me is fantastic. So, yeah. And I love a telly. In fact, I'll say sometimes that if I had my choice, if I only had one guitar, it would probably be a telly because you can get some stratty type sounds out of it, but you can also get some rock type sounds out of it. Okay, but personally, I don't think it does either of those sounds ultimately, which is why I'm always playing a Strat because I love that Strat sound, or I'm always playing a rock guitar like an SG or a Les Paul or something like that, because to me that has more of that sound. Jimmy Page did use a telly. In fact, much of the Led Zeppelin sound is telly. Sorry, hate to break it to you for those that love the Les Paul like I do. He did so much of that stuff with the telly, and you can hear it. And also you'll notice that when I do my Zeppelin videos, a lot of times I'm using a telly because that's what he used. So what do you like better, country or Western? Joe, I'm not sure what you mean by that, because I mean country or Western, like I don't know what Western music is. I would need an example. I mean, to me it's all country anymore, and it's not really country so much anymore as it is bro country and hip hop and stuff for the most part. So that's even changed. I like 70s country. Call it country Western, I don't know, you know what I mean? It's just country. What strings are you using on your Strats? I'm using 9s through 42. And on my Gibsons, I'm using 10 through 46. I don't have a favorite string. I know that's the next question. I don't have a favorite string. I use them all. I use D'Addario. Whoever sends me strings is really probably who I'm using. And I don't hear much of a difference, to be quite honest with you. Dwight Yoakam, love Dwight Yoakam, Hank Williams, Waylon, yeah, all those guys, man. I love that stuff. I'm beginning with a low-end electric Yamaha. Would you upgrade? Help me. No. Don't upgrade. Play that, earn that guitar. A new $50,000 Strat is not going to make you play any better. Learn to play that one. And I'm being honest with you, Jerry. I'm not picking on you. I'm just like, that's just the truth. That's what truth sounds like. Sometimes it's offensive, especially if you don't believe it. So get to know that guitar really well. My first guitar had one string on it. I was freaking brushy one string over here. I was playing a guitar with one string on it, picking out my melodies and stuff like that. And I graduated to a cheap-ass nylon string student guitar that was about this big, and I played that for quite a while. And then my next guitar, my third guitar, was a $250 PD Razor, full-size guitar. Okay, that was my third guitar. My fourth guitar, many years later after I saved a bunch of money, was $600 and something or another dollars. It was $650. It was a Kramer Beretta, and that was a really legit guitar, for real. But all that to say, earn that guitar. I see too many people go out and buy a bunch of gear, and they don't earn it. They still play like crap. And that's an insult to that great guitar. So save your money on buying a new guitar. Get in the course. Well, heck, you can get in the course for free. But, you know what I'm saying? Lots of this stuff Lots of this stuff is all about practice. In fact, it has more to do with practice than anything else. Friends, we're over 600 in here. Thank you so much. That's probably because you're sharing and all the rest. So thank you, thank you, thank you so much. If you haven't already, like it. And if you haven't already, subscribe and share this, if you would, with a friend. Okay, I got my computer going again. I play right-handed guitar. Oh, can I play right-handed guitar if I'm left-handed? Yes, I suggest it, actually. Hey, Eric, when practicing picking chords, etc., should I use clean sounds or effects? Okay, I love the sounds of effects, but I don't want to impede my learning. Eric, you can do all that stuff. Just keep it fun, you know? You will still hear mistakes that you play. Mr. Eric, can you give me an opinion about Ibanez? I'm thinking about buying it as my first guitar. I don't know anything about that guitar. I apologize. If you want to know my recommendations, my gear recommendations, there's a link below this video that says gear and reviews. It's really close to the bottom. Now, Carl said, if you're left-handed, learn to play left-handed. That's another person's opinion. I don't subscribe to that. And here's why, Carl, is it's challenging either way. If I had played the guitar as a lefty, it would have been, I truly believe that it would have been just as easy or just as hard, however, whatever my mindset is. If you believe you can or you believe you can't, you're correct. It's about your mindset. So if you think it's hard, it's going to be hard. If you think it's easy, it's going to be easy. So I prefer to tell students to play right-handed because there's way more right-handed guitars. When you go to a party, there's never a lefty guitar hanging on the wall. And if you go into Guitar Center, there's going to be 700 righty guitars and 4 lefties. Okay? You see other folks saying play lefty. This is literally a subjective subject, like everything is, and their opinions are subjective and mine's subjective. So, but, you know, listen to a bunch of people, but don't come crying to me when you can't find a guitar. It's a pain in the butt. Don't whine to me because I'm telling you to play righty. And friends, I'm not salty. I know folks think I'm salty out there. I'm not salty. I have to cut through the crap and get straight to the answer for you if we want to get to these questions, right? Oh, Larry is saying, Rick Emmett with Triumph, he was a left-handed player, and his teacher said he would be better as a right-handed player if he played right-handed. He is a phenomenal player, indeed, yeah. This guy's ambidextrous and plays right-handed. I can't keep my fingers spread as I work up the fretboard. Any ideas? Corey, that only has to do with practice. Exercise number 1, exercise number 2, right, inside of UGS. That's available to you for free today, Corey. Second link below. Exercise number 2, practice that, you'll get it. You got to drop that thumb behind the back of the neck, though. That's part of it. Unlearning tension. What do you think about watching and observing the body as you play and practice? Yes, 100%. I can feel my shoulders creep up sometimes, just like they're not mine, doing their own thing. Emmerich, you, by the way, have just tapped into lots of stuff that people don't tap into. Observing your surroundings, observing your own mind, observing your body. You just said something very, very astute. You said, I can feel my shoulder creeping up just like they're not mine. The mind does this too. Fear, your body doing something, your body cramping up, your body doing something. It's your body. You steer the ship. But unless you are consciously grabbing the wheel and steering to the place that you want to go, this is with anything in life, by the way, unless you're doing that, then you're not doing that. And it's just like, look, if you took a boat and you went out in the ocean and you pointed it towards Cuba, right? And then you just took your hand off the wheel. you're not going to end up in Cuba, because that, even though you're not touching that wheel, it's going to start straying. The tide, the wind, the stuff, it's going to start straying, and that wheel's going to turn in one way or another. Our bodies, our minds are the same way if you're not controlling them. Hence why we want to be woke. Hence why we want to do meditation. Hence why we want to work on our bodies, eat good food, practice our guitar, etc. So Emmerich, you're 100% right in that. Thank you for being astute and seeing that. Many of us don't see that in ourselves. So you observing, you focusing on the body. That's why I always say hyper focus in doing this. It will literally get you through anything. But unless you focus, unless you slow things down, you're not going to have the eyes to see. You got to be able to do this, okay? How long did it take you to develop your technique? Everybody's different. Depends on how much you're practicing. So, it's a gradual process. It's like, how long did it take you to speak? Well, I don't know. I was speaking when I was 2 years old, but I'm not speaking like at 2 years old as I'm speaking now. I spoke much clearer back then. No, but it took me some time to learn, right? And guitar's the same way. You never arrive. You just always get better and better, and there's always room to grow. So don't focus too much on the win. Again, this is about psychology. If you can get that psychology going, you win, okay? Focus on, when can I get that damn guitar in my hand and practice some more? Focus on that. That's going to make you a great player. Couldn't I just change the strumming pattern and learn the chords on a normal guitar as left-handed, or is that wrong? Could I just change the strumming pattern and learn the chords on a normal guitar as left-handed, or is that wrong? You could, but everything will be upside down. I would not suggest that, Sophia. I wouldn't suggest it. I'm telling you, I mean, if you did ask my opinion, Sophia, right? You did ask my opinion because you thought that I had some expertise in it, right? I'm telling you, don't play as a lefty, play as a righty. But don't, I'm telling you, that's my prescription for you. Do that. Do that and practice, and you're going to get there. But what you can't do is you can't be creeping in your head all the time like, oh, God, this sucks because I'm a lefty. No. If anybody has not been challenged here on guitar, then please speak up in the chat there and say, no, it just came to me so naturally. I was never challenged one day in my life. I just got it. Okay? And Carl, I appreciate your thing there. You disagree. That's fine. That's why we have a community, right? Yeah. Okay. Pratik, if a song is in F major, its tonal center is in F, and when the song is in D minor, its tonal center is in D. Note, is that correct? Yes. Can we interpret a song in D minor as it's in F major? Can we interpret a song in D minor as an F major? Yes, that's how I do it, Pratik, is if it's in D minor, I act like it's an F major because that's the 1, right? But I know in the back of my mind that the 6 is the tonal center. There are reasons why I say what I say and do what I do. It's because I've been doing this for 30-something years, okay? I don't just flippantly throw out answers there that I haven't definitely thought of, and I haven't, look, I've met with over 10,000 one-on-one students, okay? Or I've had over 10,000 one-on-one lessons, I should say, with students. So I'm telling you that anything that I tell you has gone through that gauntlet of 10,000 something or another one-on-one lessons of 30-something years, 37 years of doing this, of thousands of videos, of writing books, of having 500,000 people listen to these lessons. I'm not flippantly throwing something out there. And you know me, I will tell you that 99% of stuff is subjective, but there's reasons why I tell you what I tell you. You don't have to listen to it. You can ask me the question and just keep asking the question and then wonder why you're not getting anywhere. Or you can listen, and I say it all the time. If you want to be rich, listen to the rich guy. Don't listen to the poor guy. Poor guy doesn't know what he's talking about money. Okay? If you want to be thin, listen to the thin guy, not the fat guy. It's nothing offensive there. I'm just telling you the truth, right? You can listen to the fat guy if you want to lose weight, but you're not going to lose weight. But you will at least have not have offended the fat guy, okay? I can feel people dropping off. I'm sorry. I got to be honest, and we got to cut to the chase, right? 5 minutes, friends, and we're going to go into the advanced lesson. I'm a left-handed, but I play right-handed. Much more comfortable. Okay, good. Another opinion. And here's another one. Played upside down, right. Okay, upside down right-handed, so we're not doing that. So that one's a little bit harder to analyze. But yes, thank you. That's beautiful. Ha! My knees hurt. If you want marriage advice, ask the person who's been divorced 6 times. Yeah, he'll tell you, don't get married. Oh, that's funny. Oh, Nunya, what? Ever seen a left-handed piano or keyboard synthesizer? Nope. Yeah, it's true. You learn to do what you learn to do. So here's the deal. The right hand, here's a lefty, a left-hand player playing piano. Where does he play with all the melodies? He uses his non-dominant hand. How does he do that? It's crazy. Well, it only works for piano, not guitar. Come on. Don't fight it, just practice. That's 100% true. Can you play harmonics on an electric? Yes. They sound better, or brighter, or louder on the electric. Oh, thank you, B.L. Bowen. Your honesty is one of the reasons I show up, even for the beginner lessons. Eric is the Jedi guitar master. You us Padawans must listen. Us Padawans must listen. Thank you, Gary. All orchestra instruments are right-handed. Mind blown. You just blew my mind. Knees hurt. You just blew my mind. Right? That's true. You don't see violin players playing that way. Is that true? What? Is that even true? If it is, that's amazing. And again, that further supports what I'm talking about. There's a guy on the internet, several guys, that have no arms, and they're playing with their feet. Now, how possibly were they able to do that? Oh, I know why. Probably because they're the only people in the world that would have developed that technique, and it just so happens that their arms were chopped off or they weren't born with them. That's probably why. Or the other answer could be that whatever you practice, you get good at. So if you want to play guitar with your freaking nose, you could do this, okay? It's gonna be a long road, but playing left or right footed, right? But playing, it just comes through practice. That's it, okay? You gotta understand this. Yay, M. Burner, I love this everyday thing. I'm finally getting it. And I played with your blues backer track yesterday and started killing it. Thank you, Eric. Well, guess what, M. Burner? Thank you for saying that. And guess what? We're just getting ready to get into. Thank you, James. It's called desire. And that's all it is. If you don't have the desire, you don't have the desire. And Burner, we're going to get into this next part of the lesson here, but I got to preach for 2 seconds here. It is called desire. If you don't have it, then find it, get it, surround yourself with people that have it, whether it's guitar or enlightening the world, and people say, people say, oh, what's enlightenment, Well, I can tell you what enlightenment's not. It's not mandatorily, it's not doing what Hitler did, right? We can safely say, we can agree on that, can't we? So if that's unenlightened, then there definitely is an enlightened, and it's a spectrum. We can continue to become enlightened. As a guitar player, we can do the same. We can have never played before and suck, or we could be Jimi Hendrix, a guy who practiced a lot and got better and better and better. And it's a spectrum. We can keep going on this, okay? So it is called desire. It's called passion. It's called curiosity. If you have that, good for you. That's going to make things a lot easier, because then you'll sit down with your guitar for hours and hours, and you won't even worry about left-handed or right-handed, and you'll just be so passionate that you'll just become a better player, okay? I'm sorry if I'm pissing anybody off out there, but in order for me to save your feelings, I'd have to lie, and I'm not going to lie because your feelings. Sorry. That surely doesn't offend you, right? That I should have to lie to spare your feelings, right? B, man, come on. All right, okay, so here we go. Minimalistic blues, let's talk about this. Oh, and before we do that, friends, first link below is the PDF. You should have downloaded that already, because it's going to give you this syllabus here that we're walking through every day. These are all beginner lessons. These are all advanced lessons, walking you through the UGS standard, which I've been doing every day here, which is part of the 30-day guitar challenge, and we're on day 14. So, and I'm giving you access to the Unstoppable Guitar System standard today. Second link below. Cool? All right? Now, we're going to be talking about minimalistic blues today. Oh, sorry, I'm not done yet. Second link, you get UGS standard. If you haven't already, like this video. If you haven't already subscribed, and if you dig me, or if you're like, no, this guy's a D, I don't like him, then don't subscribe. Don't do it, because then I'm going to be showing up in your inbox all the time. But if you like me, then do hit that subscribe button. Hit the bell icon too. You'll get notified more about this stuff, okay? You've liked the video already? Thank you so much. Now share it if you would, okay? Okay, here you go. Do it. Right now, there you go. Thank you. Okay, let's talk about minimalistic blues. I know I say it all the time, but it's true. I guess all these subjects are my favorite, but this is one of my favorites. And I call it minimalistic blues. It could be called minimalistic playing, but it's this idea of this. This is our, by the way, we're going into our advanced lesson here, right? And M. Burner, yep, M. Burner's like, hey man, I want to do this, right? Oh, Allison, so sorry that your profanity got missed there. Sorry. YouTube just does that. Takes your profanity out right away. So here's the deal. What happens is people learn scales. They learn forms. They learn licks. They learn all this stuff, okay? Now they have this huge vocabulary, and they have the dictionary, and they've got the dictionary is what I'm calling the grimoire, the guitar grimoire, which has all of the scales and all the chords. And people think, oh, if I get that, then I'm going to have that knowledge. No, that's like having Google and having all of the knowledge. Nope, it's not. It's not going to help you so much, right? It's a reference thing. It's a reference tool. What you need to do is take a small fraction of notes, like a part of a scale, and you need to get familiar with that. This is why. Because as a child, we learned a phrase. Mommy, I got a poo-poo. They take you to the potty and put you on the potty. Good for you. You didn't poo your pants. Mommy, I'm hungry. Then mommy feeds you. They learn very simple things. They don't even know that those are words with letters in them. Think about it for a moment. They don't even know that. They just know if they go, ow, mommy gives them attention. If they go, I'm hungry, because they heard somebody say that, and immediately, it's Pavlov's dog, right? The bell goes off, the dogs come running. They say, hey, I'm hungry, and they get fed. That's Pavlov's dog. And we're the same way, okay? People are the same way. And so, because of that, let's think about that. We need to be able to phrase similarly. We need to just be able to hear something and be able to play it, right? Which comes through practice. But this whole idea of like having scales and then all of a sudden the magic should happen is equivalent to me handing my son a dictionary and then saying, buddy, let me hear some poetry. Let me hear some songwriting. You got every word. Why aren't you songwriting? Why aren't you creating great, beautiful speeches and poetry? I gave you a dictionary. What are you, lazy? No, that's like saying to the musician, you've got all the scales. Why aren't you saying something beautiful with your instrument? Well, it doesn't work that way. You've got to learn phrasing. And the way to do this is for you to, one, do it like a child and to get this phrasing down in a very, very simple way so that first you can believe what I'm telling you. So you conceptually understand this. And then once you do that, then you've cracked it open. Now the crack is open. It ain't going to go back together. Now it's going to open up and your mind is going to blow. Okay, you're going to have a mind blow is what's going to happen. Okay, so how do we do this? I'm going to show you. Now I have a whole video on this on YouTube called Minimalistic Blues, and I have a whole course for this inside of UGS. Okay, UGS Standard folks don't get that. UGS Pro folks do get that. Sorry, I can't give everything away. I can only give away 60 hours of live, and then every single week I do this, and then I do my big live broadcast, and then I give you the Unstoppable Guitar System for free, and then I do 1,300 videos for free and PDFs and all the other stuff. But I can't give you everything for free, otherwise I don't get to keep these lights on or buy this camera here, my iPhone, or this guitar so that I can continue to teach. You understand that, right? Cool. So UGS folks do have access to that. UGS Standard does not. But I do have videos for you on that on YouTube. Search YourGuitarSage Minimalistic. Okay, so let's talk about this idea. What it means is this. I drew it out for you here. What I want you to do is I want you to look at this for just a moment. This right here, we're talking about frets 5, which is written down there, 5. If we're talking about frets 5, 6, 7, and 8, if we just took that right there, right? Ooh, I don't want to erase it, but 5, 6, 7, and 8, that is your standard blues scale. Okay, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Now, if you notice that there's a green square here, and a green square here, and a green square here, those are the same 4 notes. The guitar works like this all over the place. And so when I'm teaching minimalistic blues, by the way, take a picture of this. You ready? 1, 2, 3. Do you have it? Yeah? Okay, cool. So you have that picture now. So there's the minimalistic blues, right? What I mean is this. If you give a dictionary to a kid, then they have all these words and they're like, I don't know what to do with it. And they're searching, they're playing notes. And then they sound like this, like you do when you're playing, right? They sound like this. They go like this. They go. It's not wrong, right? But it's also not, you're not going to get the chicks that way, right? You're not going to move the world by that way. It's like, that'd be like saying, hey man, hey, how you doing? I'm really glad that you're here today to my YouTube channel. I'm really excited and I want to show you some stuff. And so anyhow, what I'm going to do, I'm going to show you how to play the guitar, and I'm going to show you all this stuff, and you're going to be really excited, etc., etc. It's like, you're going to be like, what? No. You need there to be phrases. You need to be guided through it. It needs to be exciting, right? And in the same way, you need to phrase this way. So what I suggest is taking a very small part of the neck and getting familiar with that, because you will be so surprised that you could take one part of the neck and it's all over the place. Those same notes. We talked about it yesterday, the adjacent string trick. Right? If one of my crew would post that adjacent string trick so that after this broadcast, you guys can pull that up and watch that after the broadcast, and then also watch Minimalistic Blues after the broadcast. Don't watch it now, because right now we're getting into some good stuff, but you will want to peruse those videos. Mike, Jason, Emmy, if you could do that, Minimalistic Blues and also adjacent string trick if I have it. Okay? Those are going to be good and relate to what it is we're talking about today. Okay? So, for instance, if I took these 4 notes and I got familiar with them, then watch where they appear on the fretboard. Right? We can do this in lots of different places. It's all over the place, okay? What? Now, why, Eric? Because I'm telling you, if you get those few 4 notes down, now you're playing all over the fretboard. Friends, there are 5 notes in the pentatonic scale. 5. We just played 4 of them. So this is what I'm saying. It's all over the neck, and there's other ways that I could be playing it too. I'm just doing the easy ones for you here. So watch this. So if I learn to phrase with just these 4 notes, I gave you this. You took a picture of it. We're phrasing this in A. It doesn't matter. Do some sort of A minor chord progression. Just play an A minor on your looper, etc. This is the the chord progression for what is it? Stairway to Heaven, right? But in a reggae fashion. Okay? Just having fun there, but you get the idea. We could take a solo that wasn't even in the same, I mean, yeah, same chord progression. I'm just playing a reggae version of this. And I wasn't even playing a reggae version. This is a song that I wrote a long time ago, or the chords and what have you. But then one day I was like, wow, same chord progression for Stairway to Heaven, which is like everything. I mean, chord progressions are chord progressions. They repeat in so many songs. All that to say, if I was getting you into this, I would say learn licks from tunes, right? Learn licks from solos and what have you so that you have the vocabulary. But also you want to just get familiar with whittling, okay? You just want to get familiar with phrasing on your own. So there's many different ways to do this, but one is to learn licks, and that's great. You know, just like your child would learn words and phrases from you that they're going to get familiar and know what to do them at the right time, especially if you drop something on your foot and you say, oh, and your kid repeats it in the right place, right? Not that I know anything about this, but I'm just saying I've heard other people. It's like they repeat stuff. So it's good to learn phrases so that we can repeat them and we can have new vocabulary. But it's also good for you to get familiar with the neck. Okay, so here we are. We got these 4 notes that I showed you right there on frets 8 and 10. Is that right? 8 and 10? Yeah, 8 and 10. Yeah, because there's 12 over there. 8 and 10. So it's just super easy. You could do this right now with me. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to listen to the notes as I play them, and you're going to find that some notes sound better over some chords than others. Well, Eric, how do I know that? Friend, that's what you're doing. Have fun with this. Don't be scared. You don't have to have all the answers. The answers will come to you if you are curious and if you are leaning into this, okay? You don't have to have every answer fed to you. Not only that, I can't feed you an answer. Like I say, I can tell you what chocolate tastes like, or you could eat a piece of chocolate and you're gonna have, you know, a picture as 1,000 words, it says 1,000 words, right? It's like in a video it was 10,000 or whatever. Just get involved, okay? So, you know, you got your looper going, you're playing something like this, okay? And you can easily just listen to this. This is the A. So this one, it's gonna be rest on that all day long. That's our key. So if I want to create tension, you know, I want it to resolve, or chocolate is vegan. Not milk chocolate, but regular chocolate is vegan. Simple. Start off real simple. Then go up to these other notes. Repeat yourself. Right? Let me see if you guys are getting this. Easier candy time. Love the meal approach. Love the piecemeal approach. Good, Tim. I just want to see if you guys are getting this. Check out. Okay, yeah. Gaia TV. Great. Yep. Nice. Excellent. Okay. Okay. So you guys getting this? Are you guys getting this? So, okay. Gotcha. Okay. So you guys are getting this, right? Okay. Good. Someone's asking, Carl's asking, is that the BB box? Carl, you're very close, sir. You're very, very close. It's a little bit higher, so it won't sound so hot in this because this is really minor sounding. No, won't sound very good because it's BB box is more. It's using some out of the major scale, which sounds good on a blues chord progression because we're using those major chords, so it's gonna sound good. But this is hella minor. This is all minor, so it's not gonna really sound good. But you're close, Carl. Very close, sir. Okay, so does that make sense? So basically, what you're doing is you're taking one little section of a neck. I saw Corey Congilio do a live lesson the other day, and he was spot on what he was talking about. He was saying to take a lick and see what you can get out of it, you know. And I talk about this all the time. I say it in a different way, but you know, I talk about just like, you ever squeeze an orange and you're like, man, there's more in there. Well, there's always more in there. Eventually, you just gotta toss the thing where you're like, it's just not worth it anymore. But there is more in there. You can squeeze more out. So, you know, get everything you can out of it. And you want to think about this like a lick. So what can you get out of it? If you are confined indoors and you find yourself having to do other things that you hadn't done before, like spend time with your kids or do a 30-day guitar challenge or work out or eat right or what have you, there's something to say about kind of boxing yourself in a little bit, right? In art class, the first day of art class, they don't say, hey, artists, here you go. Your first assignment is to create a piece of art. Now I'm going to judge it. Go and do your thing. No, they don't do that because you'd be like, well, what are the parameters? Like, we always ask that, right? If somebody tells us to do an essay or something like that in college or school, right? You say, well, what are the parameters? I need to know. You don't want to do a 50-page, you know, report and then the guy was fine with 3 pages, right? You don't want to do that. So you want to know what the parameters are. You don't want to be doing anything outside of what you shouldn't be doing, okay? So in the same way here, you know, to a new art class, you might say, I want you to paint a picture. So now we got one parameter. I want you to paint a picture on canvas, and I want you to use only 2 colors, and I don't want you to use a brush. You can use any other sort of item. You could use your fingers, you could use a blade, you could use whatever, but you can't use a brush. So now you have some parameters. Everything else is on the table. No, just you got those 4 variables. So here what we're doing is we're saying, okay, we're in the key of A, we got this basic chord progression going, or A minor, we got this basic chord progression going. I'm only going to use these 4. So what can I do with it? So when you confine yourself like that, your brain is really super strong. Your brain. Okay, I'm saying everybody's brain who's listening to me, you can do this. These confines make you figure things out, okay? Just like we get really creative when we are boxed in. Listen to that, cabal. Listen to that, folks that, anyhow, that think they're gonna control us. When we're boxed in, we get feisty, and we get really, really smart, and we get really, really, ingenious, okay? This is what we were built for, okay? And so, if you do this, if you've got the music going here and you just say, I'm just using these 4 notes, I need to figure out everything that I can out of this, then you'll do it. So let me just do this, just to show you, okay? Now, it'll get old after a little while. That's when you know it's time to move on to another position. When you get bored, when you're getting so many licks out of this one spot that you're just sounding like Jimmy Page from this one thing, then you know it's time to move on, okay? But listen, I'm just gonna mess with this just for a minute, this one position. I could be playing it down here, I could be playing it here, I could be playing it in all those different places I showed you, but I'm only gonna play it in one position, okay? Watch. that gets boring to me and I'm like, yeah, but I want to do more, you could come over to a different place and maybe don't do bends, maybe do some slides, maybe do some legato technique here, right? So then you might combine the two. It's the same notes, right? All over the place there, except for that last one that I messed up. Okay, makes sense? That's what minimalistic playing is. And what this will do, friends, is this is going to cut out all the poppycock. This is exactly how I write my books. It's exactly how I do all my courses. It's, yes, there are 10 million things to learn if you want, but let's focus on Pareto's rule that says if you learn the right 20%, the right stuff, the right 20%, you can do 80% of the job. Then if you want to do the whole gamut, well then learn the other 80% of the stuff, 4 times the amount of what you've learned already, and then you can eke out another 20%. Otherwise, learn the most important stuff first. That's exactly how I teach you inside of UGS. UGS Standard and UGS Pro is how I do all my stuff. Why wouldn't I do it that way? So when I teach my lessons on YouTube, that's how I do it. So you want to make this stuff easy because there's plenty of hard stuff for you if you want, but let's make it easy at first. You can grow into the hard stuff, okay? Okay, all right, let's get into some questions here, shall we? Can you do triplets? Yeah, triplets is just a motif, right? So triplets. Triplet, triplet. Triplet, 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 triplet. Okay, yeah, you can indeed. I cannot make that D sharp. Okay, so hold on here. Okay, so you're saying I cannot make, what was it? I can't make that D sharp, the third string, 8th fret. Okay, you can't make it sound good with any of those boxes. Please explain the notes, not in the boxes. Okay, so to BL, look, that's the only note. There's really 3 notes that you need to think about. Number 1, the root note. The root note's gonna sound good over everything that you do. Here's my 1-note solo. Oops, I hit another note. That note sounds good over everything. The other notes create tension, which means they want to resolve. That's what music's all about, by the way. It's about tension and resolution, right? Yin and yang. It always needs to be that, right? So the other notes create tension, but specifically the flat 5 creates lots of tension. It needs to resolve either up or down, and it also works as a pass-through. So that's the reason, Bill, that's not sounding good to you. So here's the note you're talking about. Listen to this scale. Now somebody said, well, throw the flat 5 in there, and you're like, okay. What? That sounds weird. Well, it's because it needs to be used in context, right? For the same reason, I mean, we could do this. There's lots of analogies. I won't get into an analogy, but nonetheless, that note right there, well, if you use the other notes that surround it, it's going to sound better, BL. If you use at least 1 note around it, then it will sound better too. It'll sound better than just using it by itself. So what you want to do is kind of eke into it and get out of it again. So what I would suggest doing is adding a little bit of tension by giving it a bend or playing it. What I'm doing here, I'm playing that note that you're talking about right there. That's the note, right? But I'm just going past it real quick. I could also bend. I just went past it. But right there. I say it all the time. I would not take an ounce of hot Cholula's hot sauce to the eyeball. I don't want to do that, but I will take a few drops on my my tofu. You know what I'm saying? So in the right place, it'll work for you, BL. But you gotta dabble with it, right? It's pepper, if you will, in your mix there. So Rob, is that like the forbidden note? There is no forbidden note. There's just notes that need to be treated in a different way, you know? That's all. Make sense? L.A. Derman is, oh, friends, if you haven't already, please like the video and subscribe. Please like, subscribe, and share this with a friend, okay? If you're just joining us right now, the first link will give you access to the PDF. Second link will give you free access to the Unstoppable Guitar System Standard. LA's, I've been practicing the L7 method all night, and so far this day, I gotta tell you, it helps to learn the fretboard so quick. Yeah, love that, LA. He's getting it. And what happens is you learn this concept, and you learn minimalistic blues, and then you learn the pentatonic scale. And what happens, just like all learning, by the way, I hadn't invented something here, but you have association. So this thing, when you have an aha moment, it's because your synapses are connecting, because this idea and this idea, which previously weren't connected, now all of a sudden there's another little variable or some extra electricity or something that connects the two, and now you go, oh, because it's something that you've always known, another thing maybe that you've always known, but now all of a sudden they connect, you know. Just like if I were to say, you know, oh, Bill Gates, we know Bill Gates, sure. He's the guy of eugenics and wants to depopulate the earth. Yeah, we know that guy, sure. Oh, he's coming out with a vaccine? Okay, I'll take it. That would be an example. Selfish plug there for, sorry, I gotta say it. It's just funny. It's just funny. It's not funny. It's not funny at all. Oh, look, I'm gonna lose a bunch of people. Sorry I said it, but it's true. It would be the equivalent of somebody going, oh, hold on, he's that guy. He's that eugenics guy, and now all of a sudden he wants us to take a vaccine. It's like Hitler saying, get in the shower. Did he say that? Well, he didn't just say that. He did. He said that. Bill Gates pays for my paycheck. Good, my knees hurt. Well, he's good for something there. Yep, and he's run the software on my computer. Indeed. Yeah, oh, I just lost a bunch of people. That's all right. Got to tell the truth. Okay. Enlightenment has become a buzzword, which isn't necessarily a bad thing. Buddha laid an enlightenment, but many of us are serious enough to take it, including myself. Dude, here's the deal. For anybody that doesn't believe that you can become more enlightened, here I am. I have this little sweet cat on my lap. Maybe I'm just like, you know something? I'm more than this cat. This cat's a piece of crap, and I killed the cat, right? You might say to yourself, well, that's not very cool. Well, I mean, there's no such thing as enlightenment, so why isn't that cool? Why can't I just do whatever I want to do? So we know that, you know, Hitler, since he's in, we can pick on him right now because we've seen the end of his story, and we can do that, right? We can do that. But somebody who's modern day, we can't say that. No, we can't say that, right? But if we could be less enlightened, put some heroin in my arm, do some meth, beat my kid, say F you to all y'all and don't help you, that would be anti-enlightenment. Would you agree? I mean, the dumbest of us can agree with that, right? So if that's true, then we can become more woke. We can become more enlightened. We can, yes, of course there's things that may not be true, but you've got to navigate. This isn't a binary system here. We live in a world where we've got to figure these, we've got to go down a path, okay? So let's do that together. Let's help each other out. I'm never going to say I know the answer, but I'll tell you things that I'm seeing. It's my job to every now and then say something. I know I'm supposed to teach you guitar, and I'll do that. But if I see something, look, I feel like you guys are family too. So if I see something, I'm gonna drop you a hint every now and then. But you go do your own work, because I'm not gonna get political. I'm not gonna push. You know what I mean? But I'll drop a hint every now and then, in hopes that you will do a little homework for yourself. Okay. Eric and AOC sitting in a tree. Possibly. I don't know what AOC is. I don't really have any affiliation. So if that's some sort of political party or something, I have no affiliation. This is just me with a brain. And if Hitler told me to get in the shower, I'd say, I'm not going in your shower. Shoot me now. Kill me now. I ain't doing it. Ha! And if Bill Gates told me to get a vaccine, I ain't getting a vaccine. That's the way that works. Okay? So AOC is a freak. I don't know what AOC is. Okay. I don't know what that is. Okay, here we go. Let's keep going. Let's get to some questions. We'll get back on guitar here. It was just an analogy anyhow. I was strictly using an analogy. That's all I was doing. Ain't getting political. Okay. AOC is an extreme left politician. Well, I'm definitely not extreme left. And I'm definitely not extreme right. I'm more in the middle, but I make my own mind up. I don't need a church, or I don't need a political party to tell me what to think. I got my own damn brain, right? Okay, show bends, please. Yeah, let's talk about bends here for a minute. So, let's say I got this note right here and I want to bend. You know, usually when we're bending a note, we want to bend up to a note that's within the scale. We're just expressing ourselves in a different way, right? So I'm going to bend up to this. Or if it's a half step, then I'm going to go. That's all we're doing. So if it's the three bottom strings, we're bending up, and if it's the three bottom strings, no, sorry, say this again. These three strings, we're gonna bend up, right? And the three low in pitch strings, we're gonna bend this way into this. So basically, you're always bending into the center of the guitar. Does that make sense? Okay, make sense? Good, 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 good. Pitika is saying, so about cut the political garbage. Oh, yes, I would never say anything political, but if someone was telling you to get into a concentration camp, I would warn you, because you're my friend and because you're a fellow being and because I care about you. Whether you agree with me or not, I do care about you. That's okay. I care about you. I care about this cat. I care about beings. And if you don't agree with that, that's okay. I still care about you. Do your own investigating. But here's the deal. Don't just stop at that. Do a little research, okay? Because if I'm wrong, which I'm sure I am, then do the research and find out, you know? Do it yourself and look it up, okay? All right. What's a good exercise for stretching my finger? Norfolk John is saying. Norfolk John, exercise number 1. I'm giving that to you today for free. It's inside UGS. There's that, exercise 1, plus 24 variations for you, okay? Do that. Is one's voice only work or work best in certain keys? Is one's voice only work? I don't know what you mean by that, Mark. Sorry. So sorry. Okay, Thomas, I got you. We came here to hear you play guitar. All right, I'm back. How to play a chord in any song. Well, start with the 9 essential chords. Those are the chords that you're going to be using 99% of the time. 9 essential chords, that's free inside of UGS Standard. Start there, because if you know how to do that and use your capo, you literally can play millions of songs. If that doesn't make sense to you, or if you don't believe that, again, you don't have the knowledge, and once you get the knowledge, you'll understand this. I get this every now and on YouTube. Some guy will say, well, that's not true, and it's some guy who's like watching a very, very, very beginner lesson. So why an advanced theory person would be watching a beginner lesson, I wouldn't know why they would be doing that, but obviously they don't understand the whys, and so they just flippantly say, well, that's not true. No, there are millions of songs written, and they're written from very simple chords. And the chords that I give you, the 9 essential chords, they relate to each other. And once you move the capo, then you can play it in all 12 keys. So you're taking all those keys that relate in all 12 keys, and when you move them around with the capo, you can play in all 12 keys millions of songs. It's super simple. I'd have to do a million lessons, I suppose, to prove it to those that wouldn't believe it, but whatever, they're lost, not mine. Okay, here we go. Sign up for UGS free course. Most of the questions asked today are answered in the videos, downloads in UGS free course. Indeed, they are. Thank you. I mean, when I'm singing certain songs, my voice sounds muddy. Well, I mean, whatever you do with your voice, you can improve your voice for sure, but I'm not sure what you mean by muddy. Muddy usually means where the notes are not clear, you know, usually with lower notes and stuff. So I'm not sure what you mean by muddy. Thank you, Wayne. Eric can sure play a mean guitar. Thank you, bud. Have you any good picking practice techniques? Chocolate cake, exercise 1 and the 24 variations. I'm giving that to you today for free, along with the PDF. There it is right there. The second link below will give you access to this, plus about 30 other videos that are absolutely free for you today. So take advantage of that. Don't not take advantage of that. Take advantage of that, okay? Oh, beautiful. Okay, beautiful, Dennis. I love that. How do I know which finger to use? Isco is saying. Everybody, you know the answer, right? It's exercise number 1. Exercise number 1 inside of the Unstoppable Guitar System Standard. It's what I give you for free today. Watch that exercise along with the 24 variations. That's exactly how you're going to know what finger to use. Also, just going through that course, you're not going to have any questions for it. You have to learn a methodology, right? I say it all the time. I could count to 1 billion. I've never done it, but I'm positive I can count to 1 billion because it's a system of 0 through 9 plus the decimal system, and we know how to do this, okay? So it is literally just a system, and once you learn it, you will never have a question about where to put your fingers again. As opposed to teach a man to fish, that whole bit. Otherwise, you're going to be always asking where your fingers should go for every chord. Not so once you learn the basic method. You'll totally 100% understand it, okay? I heard Billy Gibbons yesterday say vamp. How does that pertain to music? This is a vamp right here. It's just something that plays over and over again. You could do this with one chord as well, okay? I can't do much on the guitar, but my bending is pretty damn good. Good, Jason. Well, figure out how that works with the scales and then get to improvising. Watch the Minimalistic Blues and you'll be right on, okay? How do you feel about singing lessons? I mean, if they actually work. Of course they work. Yeah, they do work. Wouldn't everybody be able to sing so people want to listen? Mike, no one takes the singing lessons. There's if you took 8 billion people in the world, like how many people are taking singing lessons? Like 100,000 maybe? So number one, yes, anything, it can be developed, 100%. It's not even a question. So, I'd spend time with it trying to convince you, but it's not even a question. Yes, your voice is developed, 100%. You're born with the voice that you have, the timbre, but you can even change that. You can change the timbre of your voice. You can create a better range, you can create better vibrato, you can create better intonation. And I'm, by the way, naming all the assets that make a good singer. So if you can develop all those individual pieces, when you put the pieces together, yes, you can become a great singer, literally from practice and learning. Yes, 100%, it's totally teachable. Follow, I tell you, a great guy who does this, who taught me a lot, is Brett Manning, Manning. Singing Success is his platform, but he's amazing. Paul, how about an advanced lesson on the BB box? Sometimes don't see it in UGS Pro. I think I have a lesson for it in UGS Pro, but I definitely have one in on YouTube. Search YourGuitarSage BB box. But let's talk about it real quick. So let's see. Let's see here. Let's see. Here we go. Here's the BB box, okay? The BB box is, so watch the lesson that I have for this because it's fuller. Right here. So this is 12, 10, 12, 10, 11. So the 12, 10, that's the BB box. And basically what he did is he mixed a lot of major and minor blues. So a lot of times when we're playing blues, we go. That's minor. But he threw in some major stuff in there. You know? So if you just play minor blues, it would sound like this. Here's what BB box might sound like. Now, you could mix the two also. So there's the minor. I'm trying to do the BB vibrato there, you know. But that's the BB box. I do have stuff on that, okay? Check that out. Ken Tamplin is also a great vocal instructor. We were actually working a little bit together, but I had to do my own thing. But he's a great instructor, yeah. And he's a fantastic singer. He's amazing. Addie, that is that's a big question, and I do have that answered inside. Some of these questions that you guys ask, they take a longer answer, and so I can't take 15 minutes every time I get one of these bigger questions, so I apologize. I have to send you over to another video that I've done. Otherwise, we'll be here for a long time. So search YourGuitarSage Capo. If you're in UGS standard, then I show you this, and you have PDFs that show you how to move the capo for all the different keys and what have you. Somebody was asking that here. Addie was asking that, okay? So yes. Oh, somebody's taking the Ken Tamplin right now. John, did I answer the question about electric guitar practicing unhooked up question? I was away. You can play it not hooked up. Yeah, for sure you can do that. Yes, indeed. Thank you, Annette, for answering that to Joe. Yeah, I do interact with UGS Pro lifetime students all the time. Yes, I do this every day, going in there, answering questions personally, because that's my job, and that's what you guys are there for, and that's what you want to see. So, yeah, I'm going to help you through that. Paul, thank you for the donation, by the way. Super kind, bud. I can take your lessons on your website. Please help. Rajan, second link below. You got to click on it and you got to follow through with it. Otherwise, I can't help you there. But yes, that's where to go. That's where to take those lessons online. Are locking tuners worth the money? Well, it depends. What are you getting them for? The locking tuners help to put your strings on very quickly, but some of these old school 1965 tuners, they're amazing for doing that. They don't, locking tuners don't really keep your guitar in tune like you think they might. They don't, so don't get them, no. If that's what you're doing it for, is to keep your guitar in tune, that's not the reason your guitar is going out of tune. It has to do with the way that you're tuning it, has to do with the nut not being correctly cut, has to do with some other bits. I have a video for this, search YourGuitarSage tuning on YouTube. I have a whole series for this inside of UGS. I missed the PDF freebie. First link below. For those folks that say, why does he keep saying that? It's because people don't know where it's at. First link below. Can my noise gate on my amp be killing my pinch harmonics, having troubles getting that squeal? Probably not. I bet you if you turned off the gate, that's not the issue. It's probably that you're not developing it, would be my guess. Unless you have that thing on so high that it's cutting it out, then there's a potential for that, you know? Yeah. What is the strumming pattern for Horse with No Name? No name. 1, 2, and 4, and 1, 2, and 4, and 1, 2. If you want to practice that, that is the 5th exercise in level 5 of the strumming video PDF that I have for you that's inside of UGS Standard. And that's if you know that strumming rhythm, that strumming rhythm is used in probably 80% of pop songs like Horse with No Name. It's used like so many times, it's not even funny. My Strat with locking tuners is notoriously sharp if I haven't played it in a week or so. Why? Temperature, humidity, that sort of thing. It changes. Yeah, you'll see me tune my guitar a lot. Faux show. Faux show. All right. Friends, let's keep going. I'm going to be with you at least another 10 minutes here. Let's get those questions answered. Theory lessons, or theory, technique, finger picking, how chords are assembled, how scales work over chords, whatever you have, let's talk about it. I want to get you there, okay? That strumming with the 1-4-5 is everything. My knees hurt is saying. Indeed, Pareto's rule. There are certain things that you're going to use a lot more than others. Tons more. So get to know that stuff first. Get really familiar with it, and then you can always go to the other stuff later, but build that strong foundation with the stuff you're going to be using all the time. Rajan is saying, please suggest a best electric guitar for under 500. I'd be grateful to you. There is no best, Rajan. Get that out of your vocabulary. There's no best. There's only what's best for you, and even that is wishy-washy. I have a link for you. Gear and reviews, it's underneath this video. That'll take you straight to a store. You're not buying it from me, you're buying it from whatever, Amazon or Guitar Center or whatever, but I'm pointing you to the right place. That they have my suggestions there on that page. Or you could go to kit.co/YourGuitarSage. Mike, thanks so much for posting that. There you go. That's where to go, where Mike just posted that. Is the free PDF for each individual lesson on the 30? No, that's not how it works. When you go to a post or a lesson inside of UGS Standard, you'll see the video there, and then you'll see my explanation of the video, and then underneath that you'll see comments from other people, possibly, well, not in UGS Standard. You'll just see the video, you'll see the description, and then to the left on a computer, bottom left, you'll see the PDF. On mobile, it's at the very bottom. So if the video has, if that lesson has a PDF, then it'll be sitting right there with everything, okay? What notes are the natural harmonics on the 7th fret? Harmonics are all over the place. There's no real such thing as a natural harmonic by the term that you're using there, but the ones that you're probably talking about are the ones that come out. Oh, hold on. Did I understand the question right? Oh, shoot, I lost it. Huh. Oh, right. What notes are the natural harmonics on the 7th fret? So, the 7th fret, it's going to be the names of those notes underneath the string there. Does that make sense? So it's like whatever note that is, that's the harmonic, at least at the 7th fret. Does that make sense? As the fifth, the 5th doesn't work that way. The 7th and the 12th do. So if you want to know what the name of that note is, it's the note that if you fret it and then you hit the harmonic, it's the same note. You may be an octave off though, but it's going to be the name of the note. But the 5th fret is an octave up from the 12th fret. Okay. Now there's other harmonics though, all over the place. Okay, they're all over the place there. Okay, kind of off subject, but did I miss him talking about the bear chasing you yet? MSG, I didn't, but I'll say it. You can be filled with fear about whatever in life, or you can just not have fear. The fear isn't going to help you. Knowing what to do will help you. So if a bear's chasing you, you don't necessarily have to fear. You could literally be like, there's that bear again. I live out in the woods. I'm Grizzly Adams. Just get away from the bear. After a while, you're not going to fear it anymore. You just do what's prudent. You get away from the bear. That's it. Or you could fear and just drop down in a heap of fear and let the bear eat you. Or you could run up a tree in fear and always fear the bear. There's many different ways you could do it. I prefer not being in fear, personally. Oh, I love this. Ataraxia is saying, for anyone interested of the meditation taught by the Buddha, Google Gil and his talks, good and modest teacher who does not go to any extremes or push any views. He is a former monk. And here's the deal. I come from a Christian background, and I know that the word Buddha for a lot of Christians, for whatever reason, is very triggering. Buddha never claimed to be God or anything like that, so I don't know why it's so triggering, but I was triggered back when I was a kid too, because I was taught to be triggered, and then I learned, oh no, Buddha was just a dude who was looking for enlightenment. Well, what a terrible thing. He was looking to make the world a better place. What an a-hole. So like, I'm not triggered by that word anymore, but growing up as a Christian, I was triggered by that word. So if you're a Christian and you're triggered by that word, do some research on Buddha, because he was a fabulous guy, and he's not looking to take your religion away. Christian, Jewish, or otherwise. He was just a dude, and he was just like, let's get enlightened. Let's do this shit. That's all he was saying. It's pretty cool, actually. I wish everybody would do it. I wish you would do it. I wish I would do it. If everybody did that, we wouldn't be in situations that we get into sometimes. Tux would stay here all day long, man. Yeah, he is amazing. Okay, Eric, my crate amp is a piece of crap. I think it's a 15 amp. I paid 20 bucks for it on Craigslist. What do you recommend for $100 or so? Well, you'd have to buy something used, and you're not going to get much for $100. You're not going to get a tube amp unless someone's just really looking for drug money or something. You're not going to get a $100 tube amp. So you're going to get another solid state amp, which limits you. Okay. Yamaha, I think it's THR. Those are pretty good amps. Yeah, they're pretty good. Eric, I still don't know what to do with my thumb when reading finger picking. Are you ready for a 10-second example of a 10-second lesson on how to finger pick? You ready? Watch this. The thumb takes care of strings 6, 5, and 4. Fingers 1, 2, and 3 take care of strings 3, 2, and 1. That's it. That's the whole lesson. Here's a second lesson. If you want the thumb, or these fingers can come up a string. That's it. That's the protocol. Thumb takes care of 6, 5, and 4. Okay? It's literally that easy. A Boss Katana amp, yeah, those are good. I mean, they're okay. Yeah. I mean, we're talking about $100, right? So like you get what you pay for. So $100 for that amp, yeah, it's a decent amp for sure. And the Mustang, yeah, the Fender Mustang is a modeling amp, and from my understanding is it does some pretty cool stuff. Yeah. Buddhism is a way of life, not a religion. Exactly. I'm a Christian, but like to live in a Buddhist way of life as much as I can. And Esther, I'd say I'm the same thing. I believe in the story of Christ. I don't believe in every single thing that's ever been taught to me through the church, but I believe in that story because I choose to believe. But that's, an atheist chooses to believe that nothing exists. So, but I'm also fairly agnostic, and I like to question things. I don't just take things hook, line, and sinker. I like to investigate, and if things keep showing up, and there's so many freaking clues that I can't ignore it, then I start going, well, I can't ignore this. It's impossible for my honest self, who wants to be honest with myself, to not see this pattern here. So if I mention something, it's because I see the patterns. I don't mention many things. Jesus was a fantastic teacher, marvelous teacher. Bruce Lee is my pastor. Bruce Lee was a great instructor. Yeah, he's a great pastor, right? All right, good. Nice, Rob. Okay, you're lit. So Christian has no problem with Buddhism. Can you tell us what the records on the wall are? Did you play on them? So these are, let's see if I can move this back a little bit. These are my wife's. So she is a songwriter, and so she's written many songs for Nashville, pop and country. And so she has gold records and platinum records. She's a fantastic songwriter, just absolutely amazing. Okay, good. All right. Music theory is based on whole, whole, half, whole, whole, half. Did someone try something else like other intervals? Well, music theory is just music knowledge. That's all it is. So we could be talking about the diatonic harmony, which is what we grew up listening to: pop, rock, blues, jazz, etc., right? We've got that. But we could be studying Aboriginal music, which would also be music theory, but it's not based off diatonic harmony. So music theory is just the study of, that's really what we're talking about there. Did someone try something else? Yeah, we've tried other things, and you can try it, but it doesn't sound very good, okay? And people dabble, you can dabble a little bit, but there's a reason why things sound as good as they do with the standard music system. But if you want to try something, I suggest you try it. But there's reasons there's millions who have gone before you who have done different things, and there is a real natural mechanics. There's real natural mechanics when it comes to certain resonations and harmonies and what have you that are going on with the music that you and I hear every day, whether you think about that or not. It's kind of like a color theory, right? So Mike, who is in my crew here, who you'll see him in the chat sometimes, he's a graphic artist. He also edits my videos and what have you. Well, he knows about color theory. And so our new logo has color theory involved with it, meaning there's reasons why we picked the colors that we picked. And the previous colors that I picked were just ones that I said, yeah, I love those. But there's a reason. People gravitate to certain colors over others and what have you. So there's reasons behind that, and it's not made up. And in the same way, when it comes to music theory, it's the same way, okay? There's reasons. Buddha and I both have round bellies. Minimalistic blues in other keys other than A minor. Always pentatonic? No. well, minimalistic blues, right? Since it's using the pentatonic scale plus the blue note, which is equal to the blues scale, right? Um, people are people are hitting like again, which is dropping it down. If you've hit like already, then great. Don't do it again because it'll actually drop it down. So you only need to hit it one time. But I appreciate that. Thank you, whoever uh, instigated that. So minimalistic blues is using the pentatonic scale, but that's the only reason that we're using pentatonic there. But you can use it with any scale. Doesn't matter as long as it works for your chord progression. And you can use it in any key, so it doesn't matter. Yeah, it works for any key, for sure. Jerry saying, I'm going to miss you when these 30 days are done. Jerry, I'm going to be here. I just may not be here every single day. Okay? And I go live once a week, at least, right? We're going live once a week. We may go live more than this after this. I'll just have to see, okay? Indeed, Gerald, go spend time with your family. Thank you for today. Yes, it is past that time, friends. This is what we're going to do. If you have already, don't do it. But if you have not already, please like this video. Thumb it up. If you have not already, and you can share the video, please share it. Throw it out to the interwebs. Throw it out to Instagram. Throw it out to all those places. If you would, please. Subscribe if you haven't already. If you like these videos, I really want to help you play guitar. I'm very passionate about helping people play guitar. Honestly, I'm passionate about helping. I'm passionate about love. I'm passionate about kindness. That's what rules the world. It will absolutely destroy fear, and it's what's going to rule the world if we, as the vessels, make that happen. So I'm very interested, though. One of the things I'm also passionate about is teaching guitar. So that's what I want to do. If I can help you play guitar, that's what I would like to do. And I have several things that can help you with that. Number one, the PDF that's below, and right below that, the second link is UGS Standard. You can get into that for free today. Literally, the top 30 lessons that I teach all my students. It's 33-ish lessons, but they will build a rock-solid foundation. If you never see me again, if we never talk again, and you go through those lessons, you will have done yourself a great justice by building, not justice, but you'll have done yourself a great, oh shit, I forget, I don't know the word. You'll do yourself right by watching these videos and by investing the time into them, because you're going to build yourself up as a great player. You're going to build a great foundation, and then from there it's going to help with everything else, okay? So definitely do that. That's the second link below. I also have 1,300 plus videos here on YouTube, and if you like them, it would be a good idea to subscribe, okay? For those of you that get offended when I talk about this other stuff other than guitar, I truly am sorry, meaning I don't want your feelings hurt. I really don't, and it means you mean a lot to me. I wouldn't do this for no reason. I'd be spending time with my family if that was the only thing I thought that I was supposed to do. But I do think I'm supposed to reach out to folks, and I do have somewhat of a platform here. That's why I measure myself back. I'm not spouting out everything that I believe, but when I find something that I think is really, really important, and for everybody to listen, I'll say something. I'll drop a hint. So if you're offended with that, I'm sorry. I'm not going to stop doing it, but I don't do it very often. I just say things that, like, I care about beings. I care about animals. I care about the human animal. I care about us collectively. That's how this world's gonna thrive, okay? It's gonna thrive that way if you and I stick together and we do this stuff and we raise our consciousness and we help each other out. We help the old lady out. We be kind to our animals. We be kind to our family. We lift each other up, okay? So when I say this stuff to you, I mean it from the most beautiful intent. I have nothing against, Bill Gates, other than his philosophy and some things he wants to do. So if I mention that, yeah, man. But do your own investigating. Don't believe me. I'm a stupid guitar teacher. What the hell do I know? But I challenge you to do the investigative work, and not on the echo chamber websites that you're used to going to. Do some digging. Start listening to other people, not the people that just say the stuff that you're hearing politically or religiously all the time. It's called an echo chamber. We all have them. If you don't break out of that stuff, then you aren't going to hear the other stuff, because that's how feeds work. That's how Instagram feeds works. That's how Facebook works. That's how YouTube works. They only feed you the stuff that you're watching and the stuff that you're constantly believing in, so that you're going to get more of that. So you have to go outside of that. You have to start searching specifically. If I want to hear the other side of something that I just listened to or read, I specifically look for the anti of that so I can hear the other side. It's good to know that stuff so you can see, number one, maybe you got it wrong. Make sense? So I love you guys. I mean the most beautiful intentions for you guys, and I mean the most kindness and the most beautiful lives that I want to that you can live. And so if I can help in some way, that's how I want to do it. If it's just with the guitar, that's okay too. I'm fine with that. Love you guys. Thank you so much. Thank you for the donations today. Thank you for liking this video. Thank you for subbing. Thank you for getting inside UGS. I'm here to help you. Please let me know how I can help. I'll see you again tomorrow for day 15. We're going to be halfway through this. Are you joking? Halfway through it. How to read chord stamps and building seventh chords. So literally tomorrow, with one little trick, one teeny eensy beensy tiny trick, I'm going to teach you how to double your chord vocabulary from major and minor chords to dominant seventh chords and minor seventh chords. Okay? Triple your vocabulary if we throw in major seventh chords in there and major minor sevenths. But more for that tomorrow. Okay, I love you guys. Thank you so much. I'm out of here.